And we talked about their different backgrounds and how their shared values of family brought them together. Take a look.
Over the course of her career, May Musk has defied age and expectations to become a dominant figure in the fashion and modeling industries thanks to her stunning good looks and graceful demeanor. She proved to everyone that attractiveness is eternal. But May isn't all she seems to be. A tale of perseverance, hardship, and accomplishment lurks underneath her poise and success. Also, what were her thoughts on the newly appointed U.S. Second Lady? We should look into it. Everyone is fascinated with Elon Musk's mother, May Musk. First, let's examine the life events and turning points that have molded these two remarkable people before we get onto her stunning comments about Usha Vance. From her modest origins as a second lady to her successful modeling and nutrition careers, May's story is one of perseverance and reinvention. She began her life in South Africa. Now is the moment to learn her true identity and the ways in which she leaves an enduring legacy. Although her son Elon Musk's achievements have left an indelible impact on May's life, the exceptional woman has left an impressive legacy of her own. Without a doubt, May's impact on Elon's life and work as a mother is indisputable. However, her story is compelling enough to be told apart from her parenting. In addition to being the mother of a globally known entrepreneur, she has a lengthy and distinguished career as a model, nutritionist, and businesswoman. May, who was born in Canada in 1948 but brought up in South Africa, had an early and consistent sense of ambition and determination. She grew up in a home that stressed the importance of education and pushed her to follow her passions and learn as much as she could about the world. Because she was so interested in learning, she enrolled in a dietetics program at South Africa's University of the Orange Free State. She went on to have a prosperous career in the profession. There was no straight road to success for May. She struggled, like did many other women of her day, to succeed in a society that was frequently indifferent to women's aspirations. Even though she had 3 children to take care of, her work life never took a second place. This shows how determined she was from the beginning. Rather, she made a name for herself as a working mother in industries where females were underrepresented. Hey there, I'm May Musk. Breakfast, the most essential meal of the day, is going to be the topic of my discussion today. I am a registered dietitian from New York City. Early in her career, May advocated for healthy food as a nutritionist. She became known as someone who cared deeply about the welfare of others due to the high regard in which her knowledge and skills were held. She was a nutrition expert who advised clients, taught classes, and contributed to publications on the subject. May was not content to only acquire information. She aspired to change people's lives for the better by helping them make healthier eating choices and enhance their general well-being. However, May's professional journey continued. Even though many models may have started to leave the field by the time she was in her late 20s, she dabbled in modeling anyway. Nevertheless, May surprised everyone. She proved that success is timeless through the doors that her elegance and attractiveness opened in an industry that frequently preferred young people. Going strong into her 60s, May continued to be one of the most recognizable faces of her period, appearing on magazine covers and strutting the catwalk. For showing that age is nothing more than a number, and for questioning conventional notions of beauty, she has received much acclaim. Her brains and business sense were just as important as her good looks when it came to her modeling career. May, seeing the value of branding, used her rising star power to establish a name for herself outside of the fashion world. Her subtle elegance became famous when she participated in advertising campaigns for big brands. To this day, she is an inspiration to women everywhere since she proved that it is possible to have a successful career in more than one field. May stands out due to her versatility and eagerness to take on new challenges. In addition to her achievements in modeling and dietetics, she became well known as a public speaker after years of telling her story to encourage people to follow their dreams despite setbacks. May's story exemplifies the transformative power of grit and dedication, proving that one can start again at any point in their lives. Elon, in particular, has relied on May as a source of inspiration throughout their lives. She was instrumental in helping her children achieve their goals, which was just as important as her own profession and objectives. A frequent theme in Elon's speeches is the influence of his mother, who he credits with inspiring him to dream large and achieve the seemingly impossible. It was May's policy as a mother to encourage her children to think critically and ask questions about everything. She stoked their imaginations, told them they could do everything they put their minds to, and pushed them to follow their dreams. Whether at work or in her personal life, May's uncompromising independence has always been evident. Instead of idly watching life pass her by, she fiercely pursued her dreams and carved out a niche for herself where she could flourish against societal expectations. This is a major factor in her decision to spill the beans on Usha Vance. We need further information on Usha Vance and May's relationship with her in order to deduce the source of these secrets. Not only is Usha Vance the wife of the U.S. Vice President, but her personal story also makes her a prominent figure in American politics. She is known as J.D. Vance's powerful right hand. It says a lot about her character, ideals, and steadfast dedication to her family and community that she rose from little to become her husband's indispensable partner. Usha did not grow up in a privileged household. She was born and brought up in a humble household. She inherited a work ethic and a determination to succeed from her family. She learned early on that if she wanted to make a difference in the world, she would have to put in the effort, as she came from a family where chances were not given to her. Later in life, when she and her husband became prominent figures in politics, her work ethic and determination would be her defining characteristics. Prior to JD's meteoric rise to fame, Usha had already begun her ascent to fame. She devoted her formative years to studying and developing herself. Usha was an exceptionally bright student who had an interest in politics and law, two disciplines that would later complement her husband's political career. She laid the groundwork for a profession that would put her support for JD and her influence over his public image and political strategy in motion when she graduated with honors. Usha and JD's lives started to cross more significantly after JD became famous for writing the best-selling memoir Hillbilly Elegy, which reflected on his childhood in the working-class town of Middletown, Ohio. An outsider in politics, JD had found a way to represent the forgotten working class and provide a voice to rural Americans. His position in Usha's life changed as his profession moved forward. With their complementary skill sets, they formed a formidable power couple. Usha had a more understated but no less important role than JD, whose public presence centered on reform and policy problems. As JD's trusted confidant, she skillfully guided him through the intricate and frequently perilous realm of politics. From campaign planning to public appearances, her influence was palpable at every turn. Because she was always there to offer advice, encouragement, and perspective when JD needed it, Usha became an indispensable asset to his political career. Consistently juggling her responsibilities as a family woman and a political partner is one of Usha's strongest suits. She prioritized her children's needs above everything else, even as her husband's political career took off. She is a mother of two. Juggling his career in academics, business, and politics was no picnic, and it all came to a head when Donald Trump was elected vice president after a second stint in the Oval Office. Usha has been a rock for her family through thick and thin, guiding them to a life of modesty, perseverance, and community despite the ups and downs of politics. JD often attributes much of his success to Usha. He was appointed as the 47th U.S. Vice President by President Trump. He couldn't have done it without her level head, common sense, and decision-making prowess. Their relationship is built on a foundation of trust and common ground. In contrast to JD's occasionally aggressive political style, Usha helps him maintain perspective and equilibrium in his life. An integral part of his ascent to power, she has shown remarkable stability in the face of controversy and anarchy. JD has had an absolutely outstanding career. He entered politics after penning Hillbilly Elegy, which spoke to many Americans of working-class backgrounds and campaigned for economic change, national unity, and rural America's problems. He addressed the concerns of the politically powerless and sought to strengthen the American heartland in his speech. Remember when JD remarked, "All I've got to do is remind people what life was like when Donald J. Trump was President of the United States?" He was a perfect match for the post of vice president because of his outsider status and Trump's vision for the country when they campaigned for office together. The Vance family has kept its normalcy intact, despite the fact that they are politically prominent. Even though JD has a lot on his plate, Usha has always stressed the value of family and home life. Keeping her children out of the political limelight has been a top priority for her, and she has done much to make sure that this has not happened. Much more than just a political wife and mother, Usha has made an impression. She has taken a stand for a number of issues, but she is most passionate about fighting for better access to health care, education, and the advancement of women in marginalized areas. Behind the scenes, she has been quietly making a difference, giving a voice to the voiceless in politics. Since her childhood, Usha has been actively involved with groups fighting for educational equality so that all students, regardless of their family's socioeconomic status, may benefit from a top-notch education. Having witnessed the transformative power of education for herself, her dedication to this cause is very personal. This method spoke to May, therefore she was curious to find out who Usha was and what her secrets were. However, how was May made aware of all of this? It all began with the second inauguration of Donald Trump. There had never been an event like it, with its unparalleled level of ostentation and spectacular turnout. Trump had become a symbol of high-profile events over his decades in business and politics, and the event, despite the cold weather that gripped Washington, D.C., was full of spectacle and an air of unparalleled luxury. Similar to Ronald Reagan's 1985 inauguration, which was also held inside, the event featured a combination of formalities and joyous celebration. There was a time when thousands of people gathered to see Reagan formally swear in his second term despite the chilly January weather. Elegant settings, meticulously prepared decor, and innumerable renowned visitors filled the corridors of the Capitol. The politics and customs of the inauguration ceremony were interesting, but the real showstopper was the assembled A-list. The Trump family was prominent, as usual. Everyone from Ivanka to Donald Jr. to Eric to Tiffany to Barron was there to support their dad, and they all had important roles to perform in the event. Ivanka was a constant presence in her father's campaigns, and her composure and elegance befitted a first-generation member of the family. Speaking at different points, Eric and Donald Jr., representing the next generation of Trump leadership, were also prominently featured. Barron, who was now an adult man, subtly backed his father, and Tiffany kept a more subdued position. At various points during the ceremony, Donald Trump presented members of his family to the crowd, an act that demonstrated his immense delight in his children and further solidified his belief in leaving a lasting legacy. He wanted to solidify his place in history during the inauguration, but he also wanted to continue his family's political power. While his family was indeed honored during the event, the real stars of the show were the billionaires who had come to toast his re-election. There was a sense of collective strength and authority in the room since many of them had been in Trump's circle for some time, either as supporters or as business associates. A testimonial to the influence of riches in contemporary politics was the attendance of prominent figures like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos, whose names were among those in the audience. Particularly noteworthy was Elon Musk's presence at the event. Having grown into one of Trump's most trusted associates throughout his administration, his presence served as a representation of his ongoing impact. Since Elon Musk and Donald Trump have always had a mutually respectful relationship, Elon was one among the first to hear some inside information, and May learnt more about Usha from Elon. Whatever she did disclose then, the secrets are revealed by May Musk. May seldom discusses politics despite her renown for poise, intellect, and extensive background in business and modeling. In her view, the importance of invention, entrepreneurship, and the power of her own family has always been paramount. However, Usha Vance, the United States Second Lady, has recently captured her interest. This discovery is surprising, says May. This isn't your average politician's spouse or any ordinary political person for that matter. Because of how remarkable Usha is, May felt forced to jump into the conversation and spill the beans about what she had discovered about her. May, as a trailblazing woman, knows firsthand the value of being unique. In Usha, she finds a person who defies convention and conformity. The demands of public opinion and the scrutiny it brings are nothing new to May. Being Elon's public eye mother, she knows all too well how others categorize people according to their positions in society. But May thinks there's more to Usha's backstory than meets the eye. Even though Usha Vance is now a political celebrity, May claims that she is anything but the stereotypical politician spouse. From her vantage point, May has seen Usha's rise to prominence in the public eye and perceives a woman who is prepared to take on a more prominent position in addition to her duty as a supportive spouse. Neither is Usha's purpose here limited to that of a typical wife, to be a nice face. According to May, her qualifications, her intelligence, education, and life experiences are the reasons she is here. Usha is capable of far more than simply providing moral support. She may have an effect on the world that we haven't yet begun to imagine. Meeting Usha in person gave May the opportunity to elaborate even more. The closer you get to Usha, the prettier, smarter, and more delightful she is. May went on to sing Usha's praises as the new Second Lady, stressing that meeting her had strengthened her faith in her talents. What May says is significant. Her faith in Usha's ability is not grounded in superficial considerations. As a result of her numerous life experiences, May understands what it takes to defy odds and leave an indelible impression. She is cognizant of the fact that many women are stereotyped as being kind, subordinate, or just supportive. Usha, however, is far more than that, according to May. In her view, Usha is qualified to fulfill a position beyond that of a second lady due to her upbringing, intellect, and education. May claims that Usha has been uniquely equipped by her life experiences to be a significant figure in her husband's life and to offer her own wisdom and knowledge. She revealed that Usha had the qualities necessary for a more prominent position, including an awareness of the world, personal experience, and the ability to mentor and advise others. May makes an important remark on Usha's background. Nothing in Usha's life has been typical. She is more than simply a political affiliation or fashion icon thanks to her education, work, and life experiences. Usha is an invaluable asset to her spouse and the nation at large due to her exceptional combination of skills. May sees leadership potential, intelligence, and new ideas in Usha, not to mention her presence. Is May right? Post a comment and tell us.